What's going on YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, and this video is a little bit different because I was gonna put this woman inside a compilation of like white liberal women, but she spoke about something that is a whole lot more deeper than that. So I'm not gonna waste you guys' time. We're gonna jump straight into it.
I've never felt unsafe in black spaces. This is how we know reverse racism is a lie. I went to college on Long Island, and I lived in Hempstead, New York. Very black town. I used to go to Caribbean night at my local bar. Never had a problem. Never felt unsafe. I was just at a barbecue joint in Harlem the other week with a group of white girlfriends, lily white girls. We felt completely welcome, delightful. Had a great meal, super fun time. My boyfriend and I accidentally wandered into a hookah lounge one day. We were just looking for a burger. It was kind of late. It was like 10 o'clock. And we were like, oh, that place is open. Let's go in there. We go in, the place is empty. We were like, oh gosh, are you guys closing soon? The bartender was like, oh no, like we don't get busy till like 11 or 12 at night. It's a black hookah lounge. Completely black staff. They took care of us. We had a fucking great time. Great burger, great service, laughs, fun music. Never once did anybody give me a stink eye or a dirty look or make me feel like I didn't belong in those spaces. Never once was I concerned for my safety. But I was on the national tour.
I'm not trying to come at her, but it may seem like that because that's just my tone. I love when these transplants, especially the white ones, they come to New York and they have these opinions or thoughts about what it means to live there and about the communities and whatnot without understanding the truth of it all. You know what I'm saying? No shit, you felt safe. You're a white woman in a black area where I'm guessing there was predominantly a whole lot of black men. You felt safe because one, people are just going to be respectful. They're not going to be rude to you just off rip. And two, you are, just like what you described, you and your friends are lily white. I tell my friends this, you guys will be safer in New York as opposed to me because a lot of black people, unless they have mental issues, and we know who those people are, don't mess with y'all because, you know, historical things and everything like that. And we know white people call the police. So if something happens, y'all could call out every single last detail. That's why you feel safe. I don't think people realize that at times the complexion for the protection. We see you guys and we do our best to make sure that you're comfortable and we don't have any bad interaction with you guys because we don't know how it's gonna go. We see the videos online, we see the Karens. We don't know if you're one or not. That's why you feel safe. Ain't it crazy that you a whole white woman talking about you feel safe in black spaces, but then they got whole black people, whole niggas that don't feel safe in their own neighborhoods? You don't find that weird? She said the stance of that's how you know reverse racism is real. It's fake. You're a whole white woman and you have experiences being a white woman and you're talking about what black people think and do or what we talk about behind closed doors. You don't know what the fuck we talk about. And I'm not saying this to set up an idea that we talk bad about y'all. We talk bad about everyone, especially the transplants, the white transplants up in New York. Not saying her, but there's a lot of them that come in our neighborhoods, right? Live in our neighborhoods and don't pay us no mind. Act like we don't exist. Y'all looking straight at your phone, walking right past us. That's how a lot of white people in New York, the transplants especially, act up there when it comes to black people. So of course you felt safe. We're gonna make sure you guys feel safe because we don't want to incur the repercussions of what happens when you don't feel safe. And we've seen that. That's why you felt like that. The last thing we want is for a white woman to feel unsafe around a whole bunch of black people.
Of a children's show called The Olympic Spirit. And this show was about Jesse Owens being in the Olympics, who of course was a black athlete. So we had a black actor in the cast portraying Jesse Owens. And we toured the Deep South, baby. I'm talking about Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi. And it was a bus and truck tour. It wasn't fancy Broadway stuff. We played schools. So one night our van pulls into this local rest stop. It was like Pete's Chicken. And it had a gas station, which we needed gas. And Jamal and I walk into Pete's Chicken to get a little snack and to use the restroom because we were on the road. And when I tell you, every white face in that place whipped around and looked at us when we walked in together. Now, we weren't together, we were just two friends, colleagues. But he was black and I was white. And I felt the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. And I know he felt it too, because I looked over at him and I was like, this feels off. This feels weird. What's happening? And he goes, yep, let's go. I don't want to get lynched here. So we left.
I don't disagree with the observation of that happening because that does happen. I'm a person, I go to many places, I go to many spaces where there's not many of me that are around because the way I was raised, my mom raised me to not be afraid to walk into spaces where there's nothing but white people, because she didn't raise no punk. She raised me to stand with my head held high, shoulders back, chest out, and be a dominant force when I walk into a room. When I walk into a room, I own that bitch, because I make sure I make space for myself. I don't wait for anyone to give me space. Not to invalidate what she's talking about, because that does happen. But you also need to understand the circumstances. I go to a lot of places that are predominantly white. I actually was in Oktoberfest over in Alabama, took my cousin because she never been to Alabama like that before. And there was a lot of white people. And yeah, they did look, because they're not used to seeing a whole lot of black people there. It was so little black people there, not saying there was none, that me and my cousin, we were counting. I think we got up to like 15. And this was a big Oktoberfest. I saw more Asian people than I saw black people. But I say that to say that when there's one homogenous group and then you see someone that doesn't look like you come into that, everyone looks. And I'm saying as a black man that's been in predominantly black spaces, and a white person or someone that isn't us walks into that space, and guess what they do? They all looked. Now, I'm not going to say that it wasn't racist looks. I don't know that. But you'll be surprised how they're just looking at you because they're just like, oh, are they together? They do it. All people do it. When I go out with my homegirls or whatnot, only till recently they started peeping it where they see that people stare at us. It is not just the white people. One of my homegirls, right? Oblivious to the 9th degree. Like, she can't, I'm calling her out, but she don't know this shit. She came up to me and was like, there's a lot of black women staring at us. I was like, yeah, that happens. All groups do it. I don't know why people try to make it sound it's just one. All groups do it. Trust me, we do stare at you. You just don't know it because we're really good at doing it. Which brings me to another point. People in the South are very different from people in the North. People in the North, especially in the New York area, we don't stare. Because for us, that means you're trying to fight. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people stare at me. I kind of had to get over that because people in the South, no matter the color, like to fucking stare. I can't tell you how much that irks me. Because in my mind, it's like a fight or flight. I'm just like, yo, what they staring at? They got beef? They have a staring problem in the South. They just do it. I don't know what's wrong with them, but they just have a staring problem as opposed to the North. And they don't even notice that they do it. She said that she didn't notice or any type of weird looks when she went to the hookah lounge. Yeah, because black people know how to look at people without looking at people. You know how many times I tell my white friends something? I'm like, hey, look over there. And they go, break their whole goddamn neck. It happens every single time. I had to teach them how to look at something while actually looking at something. Like, yeah, that person over there. But like I said, that's not to invalidate anything what she's saying. But especially in the case of black people, we need to get out of this mindset of always thinking if we're in a predominantly white area, we can't be comfortable. We have to make our own space. We have to make ourselves comfortable. Yes, if you had that feeling something bad's going to happen, sure. In a situation like that, do I think that they probably going to get lynched? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. You'd be surprised how a lot of times they just staring because they just don't know what else to do. They just like to stare. They're weird.
We just turned around, boop, and walked right out, got in our van, and drove off because we felt unsafe in a white space. The only time in my life I have felt unsafe was in a white space. Because
this is why we don't like y'all transplants, y'all white transplants. The only time you ever felt unsafe was in a white space. Ain't that crazy? One of the few times I felt unsafe was in a black space. Do they cancel each other out at that point? I'm black. I've lived among black people my entire life. Like I said earlier, the reason you never felt unsafe in the black space is because we know the power white women and white tears have, and we don't know which one you are. We don't know how you get down. And we understand all white people call the police and they have pitch perfect memory. So we try not to have no motion with y'all. And that's not to invalidate anything what she's saying. I'm just letting her know that's exactly what it is. Ain't that crazy? You move up to New York and you're like, I've never felt unsafe in the black area. You know, and that's not to say I never felt unsafe in the white space, but actually probably not. Yeah, people stare at me and everything like that, but I mean, most places I go, people do stare at me.
They identified me in proximity to a black man and they did not like it, and I felt it in my bones. That was a formative experience for me, and it's why I like to talk about Black history in these United States, because it's not ancient history, it is still...
Funny, she likes to talk about Black history. Then you should know why you don't feel uncomfortable in black spaces, because that's a historical thing. Black people historically have made space for white people, especially white women, so they don't feel uncomfortable. So the fact that you can't even realize that is crazy to me. But I will say that she's not wrong about that. I've said it before on my channel, and yo, people got pissed when I said that shit. The two people that care the most seeing a black man with a white woman are black women and white men. And boy, then them white boys get upset, man. Look, I don't care. They got mad in the comments. What are you talking about? oh, we don't lower ourselves. Shut up, bro. Okay, you got your feelings hurt. So what? So what? You know what? I'm gonna be a little bit toxic. Apparently, I intimidate men, especially when it comes to me hanging out with their girls, because you know that one guy friend that the girl always goes to and she talks to and everything like that, and he knows all her secrets, everything like. Yeah, that's me. I've come to realize I make a lot of men uncomfortable when it comes to me hanging around their girl, and they get kind of insecure. It's led to like a lot of men never meeting me, not liking me. And I'm gonna tell you what, not all of them have been white, but a great deal of them have been white. Actually, just recently I had a situation where this dude didn't want me around his girl because of reasons I'm not gonna divulge, because I'm not gonna embarrass him. And this guy in particular was just weird, because it was like he was worried about who I'm, you know, putting poll into, and I'm just like, bro, like, you know, that's crazy to me. Like, straight dick police, bro. Pecker patrol, cops. Like I can't make that up. And yeah, a lot of times they come from white men. A few black men here and there, but you know, I can't help how they feel. To end it all out, look, I have no issue with her or anything like that, but I just want to give a little bit more clarification and have her understand why is it that she doesn't feel unsafe in black spaces. Especially as someone that studies black history, you should know that. And it's all case dependent, truly case dependent. I think a lot of people should do what she's doing when it comes to ingratiating yourself with different cultures and whatnot. Don't be annoying about it, because like something about white women that move to New York and have this whole, oh, that was an informative thing. It's just, I don't know, it just bugs me, and it bugs other people that like are native New Yorkers. I don't know why. Just stop being you. Just stop. I'm gonna have her profile in the description down below. You can check out her content if you want to. I mean, she seemed cool. She seemed alright. Well, you guys already know the drill. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts. Do you feel like what I said was wrong? Don't worry about the last few parts. Don't worry about that. Do you agree with her when it comes to her not feeling like she was ever unsafe in a black area, and for the reasons why? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.